Okay, so the topic for this little video is going to be the fight and flight response. Now, as I'm sure many of you have heard of it, or you may know, the body loosely has two states which it can exist in. You've got the fight and flight response, which is, oh my goodness, there's a tiger, I need to run away. Or you've got the kind of rest and relax or rest and digest response, which is where the body recharges from running away from the tiger. Now, day to day, we should flip in and out of these two responses and kind of live kind of somewhere in the middle. However, with our daily habits, the fact that we're often surrounded by blue light, we have a lot of screen time, we have very stressful, busy lives, stressful jobs, a lot of people kind of get stuck or stay more in this fight or flight response. And then that will have knock-on effects into things such as the ability to be able to sleep. It'll knock people's hormones out of balance, make them more kind of cortisol and adrenaline driven. People will maybe suffer from disrupted gut motility or peristalsis. It might also link into an inability to be able to digest foods properly, and that is because if the body is always feeling like it is running away from something or being faced by a tiger and is unable to kind of slowly switch off at the end of the day, or when you kind of put food in, it needs to be able to kind of switch out of this fight or flight response and get into the rest and digest, to allow you to shunt a lot of blood to the stomach, to be able to actually break down the foods, take the nutrients out of it, and then excrete the waste. Now, if people have, for instance, constipation, they will often be stuck in a fight or flight response, heightened response, and disrupted sleep patterns. Now, one of the other videos we're going to be creating is on the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve has a big role in kind of promoting this kind of rest and relax response, or rest and digest response. So if you want to do some more research for yourself, check that out, the vagus nerve. It's cranial nerve 10, one of the longest nerves in our body, runs basically from the brain all the way down to your gut, just kind of referred to the gut-brain axis, and it has the ability to affect heart rate, respiration rate. It has attachments to most of your major organs, pretty big deal. So this is also why people who suffer from stress or anxiety will often find that when they are stressed or anxious, their gut gets worse because they are stuck in this fight or flight response. The other thing which often comes up is people kind of mention the atlas axis, the occipital atlantar joint, the kind of top of your head is kind of your occiput, the base of the skull, and you've got C1. If someone has suffered a whiplash injury or incident, if there's an instability there, not exclusively there, but again, the brain will feel like it's unbalanced. It'll feel like its head's just kind of unstable and everything will just lock down. Now, if you feel like you are in a state of lockdown and you can't get into this rest and relax, then that is something that you really need to identify what it is. It could be stress, could be anxiety, could be a physical injury, it could be an emotional response, it could be a mental health type response. There are numerous places to start looking. However, this is really important because if you can't get into the rest and digest, then no matter what else you do, whether you're throwing probiotics, whether you're following the FODMAP diet, whether you're taking all the medication you may have been prescribed, it's going to have a limited, not no effect, it's going to have a limited effect before you kind of address this.